Valley of the Dolls, also known as the Diddy Raid Simulator. This mission doesn't play around. Once you deal with the complex 3-story party house packed with civilians and hired security, you'll uncover a hidden basement with beyond dark secrets. This one's intense, not just because of the subject matter, but because of its tight corners, roaming enemies, and a backyard that'll ruin your day the moment shots are fired. I've run this one enough times to know exactly where it falls apart. So let's slow it down, break it down, and figure out how to beat this thing. For your loadout, you'll want to go something close quarters, but not a shotgun because there's too many civilians. And you don't want to go a submachine gun because the enemies are pretty tough. I like to run the DM4 PW with a angled grip. You can use the grip of your choice, but I like the angled grip because there could be a lot of people popping out of nowhere. The backyard is a U shape and it covers the sides of the house as well as the back of the house. So once you hit that first floor, right, they can come in from all sides when they hear you. So you want to be able to act quickly. For your squad, it doesn't really matter what guns you give them, but I prefer something close quarters as well. It's not a long range map, so nobody needs to have a sniping type of gun. You do want to have plenty of flashbangs because there's a lot of small rooms and very predictable room layouts as far as where the enemies are located. I think it's a good idea for one of your people to have a shield. The front door is where we're to start off, and it's almost always locked, so you want to have a ram. There's 100% going to be people in the first room, so you want your team to ram the door and flashbang. They're going to handle everyone in that first section. They're going to arrest them. And then there's a door on your left side immediately. You want to check each of the rooms on your own, and you want to check the balconies because there could be someone out there. Once you're done clearing those first 2 rooms on your left, you want to go through the rest of the floor, clear out the rooms, make sure you get that little camera evidence, and you clear out the gym and the top of the stairs, but you want to stop there and turn back around. The reason we're going to stop and turn around there is because that staircase has a big window that looks out into the backyard, and all the enemies can see you. It's going to be impossible to stop and interrogate them from up there, and shooting them is almost guaranteed a headshot. So if you want a good score, you don't want to go that way. The other reason is once you get to the bottom of those stairs, you walk out into a hallway that not only will have enemies that you get to fight on that floor, but it's open on both sides, so the enemies below you can shoot you. We're going to avoid this by handling the one floor at a time, and then doing the same thing we just did, which is turn back around after we clear that second floor, and take the front of the house stairway down to the bottom floor. Once you go down the stairs from the front of the house, how you approach this floor is up to you, but you want to keep in mind that however you go about it, you're going to be ambushed from all sides by the enemies on the outside. Taking the right side like I did is pretty dumb because there's a little window where they can see you through the wall, and once you pass through the door on the right side there's a window, and these windows have curtains that make it hard to see for you, but the enemy has x-ray vision, they can see you perfect. Hitting the other side is just as difficult because there's more space to cover. You want to avoid making your teammates sitting ducks and bringing them into this section so they can get picked off from all angles. That's why it's important to clear the rest of the house. After clearing the first floor of the house, you just want to make sure that you clear the outside, which can be kind of tricky, but you just got to take your time. It's important to establish a foothold outside as soon as possible, so once you run out there, you want to find a nice little spot to take cover at, and you want to try to pick off as many enemies as you can. If you go out the right side, you want to be mindful of that corner area because there could be enemies there. And past the stage, there's also enemies. But then if you go down that direction, you turn left, and there could be more enemies down there. And there can even be more on the other side, the opposite side of the house. What I'm trying to point out is it's the most unsafe area on the map, and it's very similar to being outside at Grease Palms, where there's so much just open space and angles to get shoot from. I think your main concern should be decapitating people and not being unlethal and trying to interrogate and whatnot. It's just too much of an open area to get people to surrender, and also too many angles to get shot from. So you can see in my run here, while I was outside, my team was clearing that first floor. And what I do here is I actually re-enter and go back up through the house. This isn't something you have to do, and if you do a good job clearing the house on your first run, then you don't have to do it at all. But I just want to point out that at the end of these missions, when you're going back through, you want to remember that you're not exactly safe. And because you're at the home stretch, you're going to be laid back and not paying attention, but you got to be on your A game. Utilize your teammates to clear out those last couple of rooms, and then slowly make your way back down to go to the cellar. This section is easy as it gets. It's tight. You can just have your teammates kind of go through and flashbang or stinger each one of the doors. I think the direction that I took is the best one. Your team can go in through with the one door, and you can kind of flank this little other door right here. It's a bit anticlimactic, but if you kind of go into each one of these little rooms, it's a little bit scary. But there you have it, Valley of the Dolls. We got Diddy. We ruined the surprise birthday, but that's what we do. We're the police. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave a comment if you learned something from this, or if there's another mission you want me to cover. Love y'all. Peace.